Welcome back to Dream Weaver Oracle. Um, I'm back to just chat this afternoon. Um, I'm a little under the weather right now. My throat is. Anyway, so I decided to just get on just to chat for a little bit. Um, I wanted to talk about my journey. I've been wanting to talk about it for a long time. And I've talked about it with some people, people that I know. I've told them about various experiences that I've had along the journey, um, dreams that I've had along the journey that I continue to have actually, um, experiences in my waking life, experiences in various meditative states. It's been a very interesting experience, and now seems um, I don't know. I feel on some level I'm sort of on the precipice of something. I don't know exactly what that is, but we'll see. I've definitely slowed down a lot in the last, literally in the last 7 days, 7 to 10 days. I've slowed down a lot. You know what? Let me grab my mic. I forgot I don't have it plugged in. Let's get this mic on. Hopefully you all can hear me better. Okay. So, yeah, the last 10 days or so, it's slowed down for me tremendously, which has been a good thing because it's allowed me to be present be present as messages come in. And I got a message earlier that said, don't be a victim of life, be a victor. Be a victor of life, don't be a victim of life. And it really, made me think about my own life and things that I have experienced. And so in in previous times is if I would go through something that like shook me or threw me off balance, maybe because it didn't plan out or pan out in the way that I had envisioned it, and then it would really hit me hard, and it would take time to recover. And that message that came through, don't be a victim of life, just made me think that there's always going to be something that we will encounter, some obstacle, some type of challenge, and if we choose to be a victor instead of a victim, then we can progress, we can find success, whatever success means for us, however we define that. We can find success in this life, we can find joy in this life, we can find contentment. this time that we're living in is really, I want to say it's a really blessed time to live, but it also seems like a very scary time to live. Like being able to tell the difference between fact and fiction. And I think it's, so much more, it seems so much more so if you are having some sort of, or what seems to be, what feels to be like a spiritual awakening, it seems challenging, more challenging. Earlier today, I watched on Netflix, Just Look Up, which is a movie about a comet that's headed towards the planet. And the show was sort of showing, these scientists telling the government, telling the American people, telling the world that this comet was planning to hit planet Earth, and to warn, everyone, to make people aware. And the show basically reflected how people reacted to the news of this comet coming. And I can't help but to think, to have a movie like that playing, and wondering, is this our warning? Is this our notification that there is a comet that is, headed towards planet Earth, and the way that it is being communicated to us, or the way that it is being relayed to us, is through a movie on Netflix. And then how people will receive that, how people will perceive that, how people will take that information in, whether they will take it seriously or whether they will see it as entertainment. We seem to be in a world where the lines of what's real and what is not are blurred. And I'm not even really sure if that's the right terminology, like what's real and what is not. What isn't real. A lot of things. A lot of things. I feel my mind, like swimming sometimes. Trying to make sense of what I'm observing and what I'm experiencing. Um, Why don't we get some messages? I'm gonna pull some cards and see what messages may come forward. Thank you, Divine Creator, for allowing me to be here, for providing me with this gift, for allowing me to receive and to relay the messages that are for the benefit of all those who have ears to hear. Eyes to see. And heart to feel. As I'm pulling cards, I just want to speak to, I actually want to speak to my residents. This may seem a bit odd, but I want to ask for protection over my residents. I've got a Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael on the card. I don't have the book, and I'm not 100% sure what this actually this card is in reference to protection. If you feel like you are in need of protection at this time, these angelic beings are there to protect you. I'm also hearing that there's a protection for a baby. $28 on this card, breaking down to a 10, breaking down to a 1. This is a new beginning, a new start. You actually have angels all around you. They show up in various places. They can show up within furniture. This is a lot of cards, Spirit. Okay. We've got life path 20 here on the card. We also have the baby that I just spoke of. This baby is being watched over by angels. You can see the angel there at the top. Life path 20 on the card, breaking down to a 2. This baby is a reincarnation of someone. Someone was a life path 20 in a previous life. There's a karmic clearing for you as well. Okay. Karmic clearing. Your karma has cleared. So things that you have done in previous lifetimes, things that, and these are lifetimes, either previously lived lifetimes or even in this lifetime, if you feel like you have turned your life around, those things that you've done in previous lifetimes, your karma is being cleared here. There's a shift, there's a change. Number 5 on this card. This is a card of celebration. You can see here in the card a being that's standing in the sun or standing in the middle of the light. Five. This is a time for celebration for you. There are lessons that you have learned. Your Akash is clear. Fifth ray of intellectual knowledge. This card is really indicating that you have reached this level of enlightenment. Now, if you look in the image there, you see this person in the center that is beaming, the light with shining. But if you look all around, you can see the other individuals that are in her aura. They're not they they look, I don't know if it's envious or they don't look happy. $42 on this card, breaking down to a 6. I think what's really interesting about this image here is, at first glance, you would think, well, why doesn't she just enlighten them? But you can't enlighten someone. You can't do a person's work for them. You can only do your own work for your own personal enlightenment. And then as you enter into spaces, you shine. You can't enlighten other people. And so what you're seeing here is the individuals around you are observing your light, but they haven't done their own work. They haven't done the work yet. So the faces that are being made are because they're wondering how. They don't understand how it is that you've gotten to this point. $31 on the next card, breaking down to a 4, an alchemical mutation. When I see this card, I think always of the transformation that's taking place in multiple levels on this card. All right, so this transformation here that's taking place with this man observing this flower. And the transformation, the mutation that takes place when he recognizes that what he's looking at in this flower is his reflection, the reflection of the divine. Because each and every one of us are here on this planet, as well as all of the vegetation, all of the animals are here as representations, as reflections of the divine creation, creator, that thing that birthed everything that is. You are seeing in a flower the universe manifesting itself, that creative power manifesting itself as the flower. And to observe that and understand that is a transformation of him, of you, transforming into this higher version of himself. Understanding that there's still more to be discovered. There's more realizations to be made, even once you've reached this higher level. Star child, you are a star stuff. Okay, this is what you are made of. You are made of the things that the cosmos is made of. You are made up of what this universe consists of. This is you. And because of that, then you are connected to all of that. You are connected to these planets. You are connected to the stars. You are connected to the moon. You are connected to the sun. There's a connection between you and what is of the cosmos, as well as you and what is of Earth. If you see here down at the bottom of the card, we've got some Earth here in these trees. As above, so below is the term that comes to me. Wisdom of the divine feminine. There's an 8 on that card, 9 on this card. Wisdom of the divine feminine. Now, whether you are male or female watching this video, I want to simply state that you do have the wisdom of the divine feminine within you. Okay. A lot of times when that is spoken of, especially as it relates to men, I feel a bit of fear that may arise with the acknowledgement of that. But I think it's really important to not speak on this as it relates to gender, but more as it relates to energetically. There's a masculine energy that we have as a society adopted as that creative energy, that creative force that has created all that is. But we have done ourselves a disservice by not acknowledging the feminine presence within the creation story. We don't deny that, and when it comes to like physical, even in the creation story, as many of us know it, there is that feminine presence, but that feminine presence is in human form, not in supernatural form. And by cutting that off, or by eliminating that part of the story, we have suffered as human beings, and I think very much so in relationships, by not acknowledging the divine, the power of that divine feminine essence, that divine feminine energy. And so with this message, what I'm getting is it's time that we as a collective and certainly individually begin to embrace that wisdom and celebrate it as well, because I feel in celebrating it, then we will begin to come more into balance as a society. And our women will be able to truly be in alignment with their divine powers and their divine creative powers. And and I think that men would be served as well, when women begin to, well, let me rephrase that. Men will be served as well, because they, as women, more women, female women, began to align with their divine feminine, men have a model, and then they're able to balance out their own feminine energy as well, so that they are as masculines in alignment with their divine energy and essence. So this message that I'm getting here is certainly to, for us as a collective and us individually, to begin to embrace the wisdom of the divine feminine energy. We've got divine grace and the law of efficiency. And what I'm getting from this card is really one of, actually I feel like it echoes the wisdom of the divine feminine in allowing for grace for ourselves, to have that divine grace, to receive divine grace. Understanding that how we have been conditioned as a society to live and to work is not truly our way. It is not how we were designed, or maybe for a time that was beneficial, but we are now moving into a time period where that form of life is no longer necessary, and it's no longer efficient. We would be better served, our energy would be better served in other ways, and us utilizing the divine feminine energy, as in being a being that is receptive to creative energy, then we can operate in this world differently. We can allow ourselves to be open. We can allow ourselves to receive from the environment, our environment that's all around us, that is really primed and conditioned for us to move in a more harmonic and peaceful way, utilizing the spiritual energies, those cosmic energies that are supportive of us. I've also got Master Healer here. So whatever it is that you are doing and what you have been doing has you in this master healing energy. All right, what I'm seeing here is you've done a lot of study and probably continue to do a lot of study. And you can see here in the image You know, how this person's mind is completely in. All right, so you are a master healer here, 33 on the card. So utilize your healing work. Utilize your healing abilities. Excuse me, that's what I want to say. Utilize your healing abilities. Trust in the plan. Okay, trust in the plan is what's come up next. So again, whatever it is that you've been doing, whatever work you've been doing thus far, keep trusting in that plan. Okay, it is for your good. This is a supportive environment. Trust in the plan, trust in your guides, trust in the communication that you're receiving. Know that if you are experiencing challenges, it is only temporary. And as you continue the course, stay the course, keep your faith, then what you are destined for will come to pass. Okay. And the last card we've got here is the Ascension Rainbow Bridge. Okay, so you are ascending. You are ascending into higher frequencies. The Rainbow Bridge makes me think of angels or angles of light. Okay, so you are, again, whatever work that you've been doing is serving you well. You are continuing to ascend. Your consciousness is continuing to expand. You are reaching higher frequencies. So don't second guess what you are experiencing. Even if your environment, your immediate environment may not be different, understand that there are internal changes that are being made, and those internal changes will translate into your outer experience. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's just move these cards out of the way for a minute. Oh my gosh. What a time. I mean, today's the 2nd of January 2022. It's very quiet around around these parts over here. I wish I knew what to say. I really don't know what to say. There just seems to be, I don't know, a lot going on. I feel like there's so much going on, but we don't even know. We're not even aware of all the things that are going on. Or maybe I feel like that. I feel like I'm not aware. Anyway, let's see what else we've got. Any other messages? I think, it's been really quiet around here for the last few days, and I continue to think like, oh, I should watch TV or something. But then I think like, that just doesn't seem like the time to be entertained. if there's anything that wants to come out of this deck. Seemed like it wanted to come, but it didn't come out. There we go. Okay, so this is Wollumben Mount Warning. It says, I create my own destiny and opportunities. I am humbly eternal. All right. I am humbly eternal, and I create my own destiny and opportunities. I think that's I mean, for me, that message has, hit home for me because for a long time, I felt like opportunities, people were going to come looking for me. Like they would just be able to find me. I knew early on, as I was having my awakening experience, that what I was doing was having an effect outward. I was witnessing it real time, and I wasn't 100% clear on what was happening, but I knew that something was happening. And but I felt that I don't know, I felt, number one, like I wanted to be in the spotlight, which is strange because I really am a person that does not like to be I wanted recognition. Okay, better said. I wanted recognition, but I didn't necessarily want to be in the limelight. But I felt like that people would find me. And so this message, I create my own destiny and opportunities, is really, for me, one that resonates because I am creating my own opportunity simply by being here, by creating a platform for me to speak, for me to talk about the experiences that I have had, the experiences that I continue to have, and share that with you all. And I feel like actually my impact would be better served in this way, because you all may be able to get something from what I have experienced. Like, you feeling like you're not alone and you're not the only person that is experiencing these things. So yeah, that's some interesting message that just came up. So I'm gonna grab some of these romance cards just to see what messages want to come forward, if any messages want to come forward for in reference to romance. To be honest with you guys, at this point in time, I'm a little like relationship shy. I have had a time over the last, few years in relationship. I felt that I was on a twin flame journey. I still believe that. But it has become more challenging than I anticipated. I don't know that I really knew what to expect within the twin flame journey. I just, it's a very intense journey. It's a very intense connection as well. But it has not turned out into the fairy tale that I envisioned, that I dreamed. Definitely hasn't turned into that. So I say all of that to say that these relationship cards, like, it's, I don't know. I like really don't even want to talk about it. But anyway, I'm here. But anyway, this is for you. These messages are not for me. But this twin flame journey, it's, no one ever told me about it. One day I will actually go into like my, the story of my twin flame journey. I'm not, it's a little too fresh for me right now to talk about. And it's a very personal journey. Some of the details I, really would prefer to leave out. But let's see. I don't know. Maybe there doesn't appear to be any romance messages that are coming out here. Does anyone have any questions? Anything that they want to ask? I'm going to put these down because nothing's coming out at this time. Okay. I'm just pulling some emotions cards just to see like what, what's really happening in the collective today. I've got sad here. I feel like these last few days have been really quiet. So sad is the message that's come up. Unhappy, joyless, dejected. I mean, to be honest with you, I've been pretty down for the last few days as well. Just dealing with, life really. The journey, the spiritual journey. Hello, tiptoe girl. The spiritual journey, the life journey has been, I don't know, it's been challenging, and there's just a lot going on. As well as, not feeling my best. I really don't want to keep talking about this twin flame journey, but I wish that I could disconnect from it. Since I'm talking about it, let's just talk about it. I wish that I could disconnect from this twin flame journey. I wish that it wasn't a thing that, I mean, I don't know. I'm saying I wish that, but it at times it's very painful, and it's very challenging. When you have the personalities of both individuals, myself and my twin, who we both had life experiences. We both have, idiosyncrasies and habits and things like that. And, your twin, in my experience, that person shows up as your mirror. And it's hard. It really is hard. The amount of emotions that are within that connection, there are a lot. I mean, it's like I can't separate from him. I feel like I'm so, deeply entrenched. Yeah, I feel the same way, Tiptoe Girl, to be honest with you. I don't know that we'll ever be together. I'm not even sure at this point whether that's even a good thing for us to be together. Maybe at some later point in life, but I don't know. I'm not. I don't. I think maybe he doesn't want that because the connection is so intense, and I think it does require a lot of each individual person. The amount of growth that it takes for you to come into union, I think it's an immense amount of work, and I think each person has to really be willing to do that type of work, and everyone is not wanting to do that, or maybe simply doesn't know how. I don't want to say that everyone doesn't want to do it, but some find it more challenging to figure out how to do it. So, but it's been hard. It's been hard these last few. I mean, it's been hard much longer than that. Yeah. I mean, I have to agree with you. It's definitely changed me. I'm a totally different person. My connection with my twin flames certainly opened up my eyes to like this, this whole new world, it seemed like. And so I am grateful for the experience, for sure. I'm grateful to have the experience. I'm grateful to have experienced a love that deep and a love that intense. I don't know that I would ever want to do it again. I don't know that I would ever want to do it again. But I am grateful for it. I don't know. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, like these days I'm thinking to myself, like, how will I, how to move forward from it? Like how to move. I'm not even really sure if the term is like move on, because I don't know that I could ever really move on from him, but maybe move forward. I don't know, but definitely in my mind, I'm wondering, what does that look like? And also trying to try to find ways to do that because I was so invested in making the relationship work. But I can't do all the work. So, you know, I don't know. Oh gosh. Yeah, it was definitely a refining period for sure. It was definitely a refining period. So let me ask you, when did you recognize, Tiptoe Girl, that you were on the twin flame journey? Or when did you recognize, even better said, that there was something different about this person? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, as much as I want to say that I was doing all the work, oh wow, birds start flying into your house. Wow. Wow, that's interesting. Wow. Okay. Wow, that's so interesting. So I knew something was different. That is, I feel like I really want to. I wish I could hear the story for these birds flying in your in your house right now. So I'll tell you, for me, I started dating this gentleman, and I don't know, maybe about a year or so into it. Okay, yep, yeah. Yeah, physically. Okay. So, there was definitely a moment of recognition for me and my twin when we first met. I don't know that I could. Of course, at that time, in that moment, I didn't have the language to say that it was that he was my twin flame, but I definitely knew that there was something different about him from our very first encounter, and we were. It was almost like we had known each other for forever. That's what it seemed like when we first met. We were just communicating and talking to each other like we had known each other forever, but we had just met, and and so it progressed, and I was already on a spiritual journey at that time, and there was one day I remember he and I were having like a serious conversation, and I don't know, I was sad. I may have cried. I was crying about something, and I remember him putting like his hand over my forehead, and he was like, like heal her, and I felt something from him. I mean, I don't know how to put it into words right now, but I felt it. I felt it in my body. And it seemed like ever since that point, it was, like this acceleration of our connection. And it just became more and more intense. Yeah, it was lovely, and I was also shocked and confused at the same time. Like, who is this person? Like, who is this man? What has he done? Where is he from? I remember I used to tell him that. I used to say that, like, where did you come from? Because he was so different, and he made me feel different. He made me feel he made me feel alive. He made me feel like I worked. Like, like before him, I didn't work like as a person. Like I wasn't operating, or I wasn't functioning fully. I won't say I wasn't working, but I wasn't functioning to like my full capacity until he came along. And then when he came, I was like, okay, this is me. This is how I'm supposed to work. This is, I work like this, if that even makes sense. So yeah, it was a really beautiful connection, and it was a beautiful mix, us, coming together. And there were times, of course, when everything flowed well, and then there were times when it didn't, and I tried to always maintain the work that I had already been doing, the spiritual work that I had already been doing up to that point, and sort of try to incorporate him into it, but not necessarily like in the spiritual work like I am. Like I try to be intentional about it. And I would say that he's much more in the, I want to say this so that it makes sense. I feel like he's much more in the 3D world. And I am like totally, oh, wow. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what's interesting about my journey is, well, I don't know if it's interesting or not, but I think one of the reasons that I've had such trouble in my journey is that my twin is not a person that communicates. And he might say the same about me. So, you know, you're saying both you and your twin had something difficult that happened. Like, I didn't necessarily, if things were happening in his world, I wasn't really aware of it because he wouldn't share it. He wouldn't share it with me. So, so that's been a challenge for, you know, during the journey is that you know, I'm not sure like what's happening in his world. So maybe that is his lesson. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully one day I'll be able to have a conversation with him. Yeah, maybe one of them. Hopefully one day I'll be able to have a conversation. We can actually talk about our journeys, talk about the experiences that we've had, you know, had with each other, and the things that have happened outside of it, outside of our union, which is really, you know, one of the things that I wanted to get on today to talk about. Is like some of the experiences. Ooh, yeah. I think that's probably mine too. I mean, I'm definitely an overgiver, and my sense of self-worth has improved a lot over the last few several years. I definitely have been challenged with that, which I think is for me why it's been so challenging on this spiritual journey, because I have had such a hard time reconciling that, you know, the spiritual gifts that have been imparted to me, like they are actually mine, and like they've been gifted to me, and I have the freedom to use them and utilize them, and I don't have to be ashamed of that, and I can feel worthy of that. And that's been challenging for me. I think I've spent a lot of time denying not denying the spiritual experience or the spiritual awakening, but I've spent a lot of time denying myself of things that I want, things that I have asked for, because if I were to get them, I feel like I would, let me see, how can I word this? I've denied myself because I didn't think that I was worthy of it. I didn't think that little old me, little old, you know, Shwanna, a little black girl from Louisiana, would be worthy of such reverence. Actually is the word that I want to use. Reverence by the universe, appreciation for me, for my existence, for me being here, for me doing all the things that I've done in my lifetime that have led me to this point. I haven't, you know, I didn't have value in myself. And that's something that I'm still, every single day reminding myself, and the universe is constantly reminding me of it as well in my environment. I'm, receiving the messages that, I am loved and I am cherished and I am a part of this universe and I am a part of everything that is, and that I deserve to have my heart's desire, and I deserve to have people in my life that love me, and I deserve to have people in my life that hear me, and I deserve to have people in my life that understand me, and I deserve people in my life that are willing to share themselves as much as I'm willing to share myself. And so it's been an interesting, yeah, yeah, it's been a really interesting experience because I think the realization of that, that unending love, the realization that it is all around us, it's everywhere. It's, we cannot escape it. Like, we can search and we can look, but everywhere we look, there's love. Everywhere we look, there's support. If we look for it, it's there. Even if we don't look for it, it's there. And I'm more and more appreciating that and being grateful for that and being thankful for that. And also showing up as that for other people. But, I can't do that if I, don't believe that for myself. So, I don't know. It's overwhelming sometimes, because I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, it's overwhelming, I guess, because for so long, this it wasn't necessarily like so evident. And it wasn't being reflected by so many people. And so to see it now, to see it, to experience it, to be a part of it is, it's a privilege and also overwhelming at times. So yeah. Let's pull some more cards though. Let's see what else. What other messages want to come forward? Let's pull from our shamanic medicine deck and see what messages want to come forward. Tiptoe girl, where are you from? Where in the world are you located? Isn't that the truth? We have been worn down. So true. Only if it had started this way. If it was love always. Oh, you're in the UK. Awesome. Thank you for being here. That's so awesome. I've never, well, that's not true. I've been there once before. And I was going to Morocco, not Wales. I haven't been to Wales before. I was, well, I was in London. Yeah. That was probably back in 2015. I was going to Morocco for a retreat. It was called Restable. It was an awesome retreat. It was in the middle of the desert, and I was in UK for a few days. I had well, I missed my flight going to Morocco. Sort of a long story, but not really. I think that was the day of the London bombings, and so they had shut down a terminal, and I missed my flight. So, but it was beautiful once I finally did get to Morocco. Even in London, I'm sorry, let me not skip over that. I had a good time there. I got a chance to get out a little bit. I would love to go back. All right, so we got two cards that popped out here. So we've got the Lodge card here, and this is a card of counsel, and then also the Medicine Mask card of authenticity. So what I'm getting from, Sweat Lodge. What I'm getting here is to reach out for, oh man, let me see, what did you say? Oh, I missed it. I didn't see what you said. Okay, seek counsel, right? Seek counsel. So for this, seek counsel of your spirit guides. Always when I get this card, though, I usually think of like seek counsel from ancestors. Although now that I'm looking at, see a face here in this smoke. So seek counsel from spirit guides. There's a message that is coming forward. This looks like a male face. Could also be ancestral messages. To seek messages from ancestors. I don't know. I'm also getting from here. Actually, what I'm getting here is like, what's the word that I want to use? Like spirits in the forest. All right, so maybe how do I connect with my spirit guide? I would like to go deeper. Okay, so meditation is something that I always, I mean, that's like my go-to meditation. I've also, of course, I utilize the cards. So there are certain guides that have a stronger presence. If you're not sure who your spirit guides are in meditation, I would ask that. Like, let that be something that you meditate on, that you are wanting to know who your spirit guides are and that you want to connect with them. Okay. You can, I don't know if you have, again, this could be ancestral messages too. So if you don't necessarily have to have an altar, but if you have pictures of your ancestors, You can simply have that in like a corner. I wouldn't suggest putting it in your bedroom, but you could. There's nothing that says that you can't do that. But meditation is the way that I would suggest to connect with or to ask for guidance from your spirit guides. Ask your spirit guides to make themselves known to you. Ask that you want to know who they are, what their names are. It could be ancestors, it could be angels. Yeah. I'm sorry, I was listening. And then the other card here, can they be people? There could be people that you've never known. It definitely could be like you've never met them before in life. It could be. Our souls are connected to a number of people. So there could be spirit guides, like actual angels that are your guides, or you could also have guides that are people that you've never met. They could be your guides. I think guides, excuse me, can show up in a number of ways. They don't necessarily have to be guides for a lifetime. It could be a guide for a certain period of time as you are going through a particular season in your life. If you are needing something in particular, this person may be sent in your life in order to help guide you. So they could be a guide. It could be a physical person that is alive today. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a spirit guide, but definitely this card is suggesting that you seek counsel. And it could be seeking counsel from like a spiritual head or a spiritual leader. Your guides could be in your life for a lifetime. You could also have animal guides. I'm not sure if you're familiar with or aware of animal totems, but you could also have animal guides. I personally feel like birds are my guides. I always find feathers everywhere, and my backyard is usually full of birds. So I do lean towards animal guides as well. Yeah. I think a lot of times we come across people who are sent to help us along our journey, even if we're not consciously aware of it at the moment. And usually we're not, at least in my experience, like I have maybe encountered someone and then, after some time has passed, I'm able to go back and or look back and say, oh, this person came into my life for a specific reason. Like they were there to steer me in this direction. Prime example, back in 20, I don't know, I guess it was 20, oh, the birds. Yeah, yeah. I think it was back in 2013, 2014. I know it was about 2012, 2013. Anyway, I was working a job and I met this guy. We worked together. He's a really intelligent guy. He was also a really attractive guy. Okay. He was very attractive. Anyway, at the time, I had begun I think it was maybe around that time that I had begun, was sort of early in my meditation journey. I think I had started meditation and yoga around that time. And I remember purchasing a program. It was the Jose Silva method, which is a sort of a brain entrainment method, but they utilized meditation in this method. And in one of the meditations, the way that the meditation would end is you would, talk about what you wanted. And then at the end of the meditation, you would say, I expect this or better than this. Is that right? Oh, no, 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 no. I'm sorry. That is what it would say at the end, but that wasn't it. There was another part of the recording where if she would say better and better. I just remember that, better and better. So anyway, long story short, I'm at this job, and this guy, he walks in and someone asks him how he's doing, and he says better and better. And I had never heard anyone say that before, other than on this meditation tape. I never heard a person in real life say that, so it caught my attention. And he and I got to talking, and we got to know each other, and he started telling me about different books that he read, and different other people that he had listened to. Like, he introduced me to Jane Roberts, who was a medium or a channeler for the personality Seth, and she wrote a series of books called Seth Speaks, and one of the books that he recommended was The Eternal Validity of the Soul. I remember that book. It was a very heavy book. It took me several years to read it, and but it talked about our souls, and essentially like the truth of our souls through this entity, Seth, who was speaking through Jane Roberts. So he introduced me to that. He also introduced me to Abraham, or Esther Hicks, Abraham, Esther, Jerry Hicks, which is another couple, or another woman who was a channeler for another entity by the name of Abraham, who, talked about the law of attraction and things of that nature. So anyway, long story short, fast forward, he's been in my life. He's introduced me to all these things, and maybe several years passed by, and there was I can't find my words right now. Chalkboard. I had a chalkboard in my house. He had come to my house and he had done some work. And I had this saying written on the board, which was something to the effect of like, be brave, live life on your own terms. It was some type of motivational saying. And then he had written like an infinity sign under it. And one day, I took a picture of that one day, and that day that he did it, I took a picture of it. But one day later, fast forward again, I'm scrolling through my email, and I see this picture that I took of him in this infinity sign. And it was something about witnessing that infinity sign at that moment. I think it was the recognition that, like, yes, we are infinite beings. And yes, this person came into my life several years ago, and this person put me on the path for me to be here at this time, to have this realization that we are infinite beings. And it was one of those aha moments, like, oh my gosh, that's the reason why I met him. He is the person that helped me get here. And so I say that to say I do definitely agree with you. And I think that we are all that for each other. I think we have the ability to be that for each other, to help each other come back into the realization of the remembrance of who we are as spiritual beings, and to help us stay on that path and be balanced, because there's so much in our environment that is are you nodding? There's so much in our environment that is, I'm sorry, that is so much in our environment that's really geared toward telling us differently, that we are not that that we aren't love, and that infinite love is not all around us, and that we cannot have the things that we want, and we can't do the things that we can't have the desires of our heart, and we truly can have that. And so that was really a long about way to answer your question about about spirit guides. And I think I've gotten completely off of the cards here. So, medicine mask, authenticity. What I'm getting here is to show up authentically as yourself. To continue to show up as yourself, and don't allow anyone else to dull your shine. We're all unique individuals, and we're not all going to be everyone's cup of tea. But nevertheless, there's someone for you. There's someone who wants to hear what you have to say. There's someone who needs what you have to give and what you have to provide. And so continue to show up in the world as your authentic self, and be damned what anybody else says about it, and what anybody else thinks about it, and how anyone else perceives you. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see, what else do we have? What other messages? This is a really, it's 87 minutes of me talking about a number of things here. The more authentic I allow my choices to be, the more I like myself. Yeah, amen to that, Tiptoe Girl. I think what you said earlier about self-worth is it really is it helps, as you continue to show up as yourself, you value yourself more, and you like yourself more. You feel better about yourself when you are no longer contorting yourself and shifting and changing to fit into the box of what other people feel like you should be. Speaking of feathers, we've got feathers that popped up here with restoration. So what I'm getting here is you're definitely being restored. Okay, whatever has been lost to you, whatever you feel like you lost, if you feel like you've missed out on something, or you've missed something, this message is telling me that a restoration is coming. All that is for you, all that is meant for you. Anything that you feel like you've missed is going to be restored to you. So fret not, because what you want is coming. All right, let's see if there's anything else. You know what? I'm going to grab some sacred geometry cards here and see what messages we got. Thank you, Tiptoe Girl. I appreciate you. Oh, wow. Let's see what we come out here. I have a taste for something really sweet right now. I want some dessert. All right. Let's see what we've got from our sacred geometry. I don't want to shuffle today. I haven't. All right, let's see what we got. All right, I think I just saw crown chakra. Yep. Yep, crown chakra number 7 on the card. All right, so the crown chakra supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. Okay, so whenever I think of this, I always think like heavy is the one that wears the crown. And I feel like I don't know about you, Tito, but I feel like I've spent so much time in the crown area that I am like I want to move down into other areas. I feel like I've neglected parts of my system that maybe would have served me better. If that even makes sense, I don't know if it makes sense or not. But anyway, the ability to transmute negative energy into light. That can be challenging, but you can do it. Your crown chakra, your spiritual connector, the thing not the thing, but the energy channel that connects you to your higher power. Earlier I said I prefer to say inner power because I feel like saying outer power really takes me out of the body. Oh, sacral and throat. The throat chakra, I think, is probably an area that would serve me well to work on. Being able to, speak my truth and to be very direct about it. Less concerned with how other people are going to receive that truth. Let's see what other messages want to come forward. What else do we need here today, Spirit? All right, we got the third eye. Oops. So, okay, third eye chakra, number 6 on the card. So we're making our way down here. All right, third eye chakra supports our intuition and inner knowing, as well as our imagination and our psychic powers. This part, the third eye chakra, intuition, psychic powers, that to me is very fun. It's also, it can be dangerous. And I do feel that these energetic connectors, it has been used against us, mainly because I think that we haven't been, because there's not been a lot of education on our energy centers. I think that our energies have been used against us because we weren't aware. And in my own experience, I'm starting to see how, in my opinion, how it is used, how my energy is used. And because I'm observing that in my environment, I'm feeling like I want to like withdraw. Like I don't want to be connected necessarily to like media and things of that nature. But again, it's an evolving process. There are some times when I feel like my thoughts are being projected to me on the screen, on the television screen. And so that's what I mean when I say our energy is us, because I believe that the powers that be are aware of our psychic abilities and our intuitive powers. So, I want to be careful about how my energy is being used, and I don't want it. I don't want it to be used in a perverse way. So, so yeah. Let's see what else we have. I don't know if anything else wants to come out of this deck. Oh, there we go. I think we got two. Authority and consciousness. The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. I feel like this is really, again, it's talking about our own power and our own authority. We do have authority. Even though we may have been programmed to believe that we don't have authority, we do. We have authority in our own lives. We operate as the authority of our lives. We get to make choices for ourselves. We get to make decisions for our own life. It can be challenging because we have been programmed, for many of us, to usurp that authority, to give that authority over to someone else. But we do have authority in our own lives, and we have the ability to use that authority in a powerful way, to direct it in the way that is for our benefit, but also to be loving with that authority. So we don't have to be overbearing like we see out in the world today, how authority is abused. We can use that authority in a loving way. And then this next card is a card of consciousness. It says the frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. All right, so our consciousness is very diverse, it's very broad, it's very expansive, and we can, even though we may not be fully focused in a multi-dimensional way, our consciousness does do that. Our consciousness does reflect outward in a multi-dimensional aspect. And we are able to then pull that information into, pull that data into our current reality. So we're very powerful beings. As we continue to tap into ourselves, and as we continue to tap into ourselves, and as we continue to elevate our frequency, raise our frequency, we begin to recognize how powerful we are and how powerful our consciousness is, and then we can utilize that. We can move in that. So that we can really live the lives that we truly desire. So this has been about almost an hour and a half, and I think I'm going to stop it here, and I'll come back and we'll record a little bit more. So I want to thank you for being here, for sharing your energy. Tiptoe Girl, thank you for jumping on and chatting with me. I want to thank your guides, my guides, and also the Divine Creator for allowing me to be the clear channel to relay these messages. And as always, I will see you on the next video. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.